Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's Lara here from Love on a Plate. And tonight I'm going to take about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to share with you a couple of really great summer side dishes that I like to make that go really well with the meal plan that you may have seen me sharing on Facebook the last few weeks called 5 Dinners in 1 Hour. So these recipes are totally separate. They're all made by me, and I will share them up on my website sometime this weekend. So I know I said I was going to do summer sides because it's hot, but as some of you may know, usually on Friday nights I have somewhere between 8 and 10 teenage boys in my house. So I added in some great sliders, Cubano sliders that I'm going to make first. I'm going to put them in the oven, and then by the time we're done the live, those kids will have dinner ready. So as you're hopping on, just say hi to me. Hi, Diane. I hope everybody had a good week, and let me know, doing anything fun this weekend? I am mostly cleaning the house. Don't have any special plans. Oh, James is watching too. Funny thing. So sliders, super simple, and I think I have demoed these a couple of times, but this is a slightly different recipe. Hi Jackie, how are you today? Super hot here. I thought it was supposed to cool off, but it's now 33 degrees. All right, I'm going to start with the sliders because they're not really part of the summer sides menu that I promised I would share, and they really will only take a couple of minutes. So lots of people use Hawaiian rolls. Hawaiian rolls are really hard to find in Canada, but I find these nice slider buns at Walmart of all places. And I'm going to have to make a double batch of these for the kids, but we're going to get started. So they come in a package all together, and I sliced them in half, and then I broke them in half, not on purpose. We're going to start with some mustard. Usually I don't like yellow mustard, but somehow in a Cuban sandwich, the vinegariness of them tastes really good. And you don't really want to be too cheap with the mustard because that's going to make sure that they're not too dry. So who's doing something fun? Hi Melissa, how are you? Hot? It's hot. Anybody going away to the cottage? I was hoping to go back up to our trailer, but we have one more week of summer school for the middle son, and then we can get back to doing some of that. Okay, so liberal amount of yellow mustard, and then all the goodness. So I went to my deli. Cuban sandwiches are usually like authentic ones are sliced roasted pork that's like marinated in lime and garlic and all kinds of delicious things. This is the quick and easy version. So I went to my local deli and I picked up some smoked pork roast and some smoked summer sausage, and we got teenage boys, so we're going to load it on pretty thick. So that's the meat, and then cheese, and it'll only really take 4 slices, except of course I have to make that other batch. Hi Daniela, nice to see you. Hey Allison, I haven't heard from you in ages. Is it as hot up in Kawarthas as it is here? Okay, so some cheese. And we're gonna put this melted butter, parsley, and garlic onion powder mixture on the top. I'm gonna pop that in my microwave just for a minute. And while I do that, pickles, authentic part of Cuban sandwiches. And I looked all over for pickle slices and they didn't have any. So you know, you gotta make do. So I just sliced up some dill pickles I had. Uh-oh, I think I'm cheating some people. That's okay, that's for the non-pickle lovers. Okay, then a little bit more mustard. This would be a great recipe for my friend Sandra's son Thomas. It's his favorite condiment. I think it's the only condiment he likes, actually. Okay. So mustard, put those tops back on. And my butter's melted. And I told you these were super fast to make, and I didn't lie. So now I have the melted butter, really melted and sizzling. And I'm just gonna liberally, because I don't bake these with a lid on them. I just pop them in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. And I'm gonna serve them, because it's for teenage boys, with a whole whack of potato wedges. And if they're lucky, maybe some taco chicken legs. I'm not sure. Hello, Sandra. Yes, this is perfect for Thomas. That's what I was saying. Hi, Brendan. How are you? I want to know, how many times have you been to Canada's Wonderland this year? I know you are a coaster junkie. Okay, so that's the Cubanos. I think it took, I was going to start my timer, but I didn't. Less than 5 minutes. Perfect for what I used to call no-cook Fridays, but now I make sliders or pizza in general. So these I'm going to put in the oven, not covered. And by the time we're done here, those will be ready for the kids. So, I know, right, Melissa? Well, I always figure I'd rather know where the boys are. So, all their friends come here, and a lot of them say we have the best food. So that's kind of funny. They eat me out of house and home, though. Okay, and I have to be ready for this weekend. Tomorrow is my daughter's baby shower. Yesterday was her last day of work, and we're gonna have a new baby in about 3 weeks. Okay, so today I'm going to make, I'm actually making cauliflower dill ranch salad. Same recipe can be used with cauliflower or potatoes. And since James is trying to be healthy, I thought I would make a cauliflower version for him. But you can use the same dressing on just little baby boiled potatoes. So I'm gonna get all my goodies. So if he wasn't being good, I would use these. These are like beautiful Ontario new potatoes. But he is being good, so I'm gonna use this. So I took my cauliflower, and I already started some, and we're actually just gonna cut it into bite-size pieces. My dog is jingling here. He's wearing his Christmas bells on as a necklace. My tech guy not delivering. I may have to negotiate new terms. Or it might have been me. Oh, my iPad had the volume up. He says that's my fault. I say it's his. Okay, so I am putting my cauliflower pieces, not too small, because you want them to be bite-sized, like you're making potato salad. And I'm gonna put them in a steamer. And you could do it raw, but I like to steam them for like 2 to 3 minutes, just to take that raw bite off. Makes them a little softer. So the cauliflower goes in the steamer. You can use any steamer. We're gonna put those in the microwave. I swear, I hate where my microwave is, except for these presentations, it's really handy. Okay. So now we're gonna build all the ingredients that makes it taste good. If only I had thought to have a bowl. Okay, so celery, boiled eggs, a really nice ranch dilly dressing, and you just toss it together. And it'll actually last about 4 days in your refrigerator if it lasts that long before everybody eats it. I'm not that worried about this one. Don't think this will be a kid favorite because it's not potato salad. But I think James will like it. Yes, Allison, you'll have to come down. You would be happy with my front yard. The last time you were down, we did lots of work on it together, and it's looking pretty nice. Okay, so celery is really good when you're trying to watch your weight. They say, and it's not a myth, you actually burn more calories eating celery than you do consuming it. That's nice and crunchy. Okay. So it's like half a cup of celery. Like any kind of potato salad, you can put in as much or as little as you want. Then, chopped red onion. And I chopped it up ahead of time for the most part, because who needs to watch me chop red onions? Oh, James is waving at me. He needs to watch me. Nobody needs to do that. And again, I'm using a red onion because it's more flavorful and not as strong as a yellow cooking onion. Okay, so that's the onion. Boiled eggs. So I just boiled these for 8 minutes. They're all ready to go. I know it seems strange. I'm gonna pop them in here whole. And this is like one of my favorite tricks. I always use my pastry cutter to cut up my boiled eggs. I do it when I make potato salad, when I make egg salad. I do it all the time because they don't roll around and they get nice and broken up. And by the time I have all the ingredients in here, the cauliflower, I was about to say broccoli, the cauliflower will be done. Okay. Okay, not quite. I lied a little bit. Now this one has, because it's a dilly ranch, I'm actually going to cut up some dill pickles. Just gives it a little bit of a bite, makes it a little bit less rich, and add some flavor. And you can cut them up as big or small as you want. And again, this is like a really great low carb option. I think if you were on Weight Watchers, it would be pretty good. For me, I'm just making it because it tastes good. Okay. Yeah, Sandra, would you eat this one? I don't think your boys would, but I think that it's like so great to take for lunch too. Okay, so in go these chopped up pickles, and I'm kind of cutting everything roughly the same size, and then the cauliflower will be a little bit bigger. I'm gonna put one more pickle in, just because. And when I'm done, like I said, I will put all the recipes up on my website and I'll have real measurements. I just don't tend to measure when I cook. Okay, I'm going to take the cauliflower out. So I don't know how much you can tell, but it's not cooked. It's just as if you blanched it, but it's easier than blanching. So I'm going to let that cool off a little bit. Now we're going to make the dressing. So the dressing has fresh dill, about 1/4 cup, and I just chop it up. And if you don't like dill, you could leave it out, or if you don't like dill, you could make a different recipe. Hello, Leanne, how are you? Okay, so fresh dill. I'd love to say that's from my garden, but it's not. I have like one sad little frond of dill growing. The rest are doing really well. Okay, so that's that. And now we need the mayo. And I like to use sour cream, and like a combination of sour cream and mayo. You could also use Greek yogurt. So 3/4 cup of mayo. There's the good eyeballing. Sour cream. I'm using low fat sour cream. That looks kind of good to me. I feel like, oh yes, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. This is balsamic vinegar, and it's white balsamic. And I often like to use white balsamic instead of the regular, just because it doesn't change the color of your food, but it's still sweet and tangy all at the same time. Okay, so that's the sauce and all the goodies. And then I'm gonna toss the cauliflower in. And it doesn't matter that it's still warm. That will actually help the dressing absorb nicely into the salad. And then I'm gonna chill it. Okay, not gonna lie, this cauliflower is hot. Okay, I'm gonna add the rest of that after, but it'll look really messy because I picked a really small bowl. Oh, runaway pickles. Did my tech guy sort out my camera angles, or is he still working on it? Very low. Eggs are 0. That's kind of cool. Now, Sandra, if you did it with Greek yogurt and like 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt and just a 1/4 cup mayo, it would still taste really good and it would be still lower, right? Okay. So that is our first of our summer sides. And the really nice thing is this will hold really well in your refrigerator for like 4 or 5 days.
And Melissa was wondering if we found squeezable garlic yet, or if it's just a US thing.
Just a US thing as far as I can tell. But funny thing, I have a friend going to the US in August, and it's on my list just because I'm so curious. It's kind of fun. I get to write her a whole list of all those American products that I want to try, and she stops at the Myers or the Walmart on the way back, fills up a cooler and brings it. So we always do a big reveal. I'll share it with you. Okay, so, oh, big mistake. Can't make ranch dill dressing without the ranch. So this is a homemade ranch dressing. I like this one because it doesn't have a lot of salt in it. And I tend to really watch our salt. So that's like 2 tablespoons of dry ranch dressing. And this one came from that meal plan subscription that I belong to. 5 dinners in 1 hour. And I've used it a bunch of times and my jar's almost empty, so it's time to make it again. Okay, that's it. So side number 1 and Cubanos, and time to clean my cutting board. All right. Best thing about cutting boards, they have 2 sides. All right, next. What should we make next? I think I'm gonna make the chickpea salad. This one I have a bowl for. So this is a Mediterranean, really fresh chickpea salad, also super healthy. This is just 1 28-ounce can of chickpeas, and I just rinsed and drained them because I don't like all that thick syrup around them. To that, we're gonna add some deliciousness. So all fresh, because it's the season of fresh produce. So I like to cook with fresh ingredients. So I'm gonna cut my veggies. I'm using English cucumbers, which have less seeds and are less watery, and they have that thinner outer skin, so you don't have to peel them, which lets them keep their shape a bit better. And I'm just going to cut them in bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to put about a cup. But if you love cucumbers, put more. And if you hate cucumbers, put less or don't put any. Beans, all 0 points. Greek yogurt, 0 too. See, Sandra, we can make like this one. This one has a little bit of olive oil, but we've got great ones for the Weight Watchers. The new Weight Watchers program, I think, is really good. Okay. Did anybody tell me what they're doing for the weekend? Hey, Roxanne, how are you? All the way out in Vancouver. We're having a heat wave here. Woo. All right. So then to this, I'm going to add red onion. I'm going to add, it's all Mediterranean flavors. Oregano, lemon, red onion. And this one's totally vegetarian. If you wanted to make it like a whole meal, you could add chopped up chicken to it, and that would be like your whole lunch. I'm leaving this one just as is because I have on my menu to make some grilled chicken, like Greek chicken, this week. So I'll serve this as a side. Okay. I'm going to take the seeds out and the white part. Nothing wrong with the white part, I just don't like it. Oh, doesn't look nice. And if you prefer green peppers, you can use green peppers. I just think the red peppers taste nicer because they're sweeter, and also they look pretty. And I didn't call my page Love on a Plate for no reason. I think food has to look pretty too. Okay. You're coming mid-August. Okay, that's awesome, Roxanne. Am I going to get to visit you? Are you coming to Mississauga, or are you going all the way out to see your mom? Okay. So you can do these in whatever quantity you like. This is going to be about a half a cup. If I was making items or dishes that I thought my kids would eat a lot of, I would make a bigger portion size. These are really to serve like 4 people as a side dish. And James will probably take some for lunches. And maybe me too. All right. So like half a cup, I'm guessing. 1 whole red pepper, chopped up. My red onion. And I don't want too much red onion. I'm going to cut so some of it's already chopped. Waste not, want not. Not really a technical measurer. I am when I physically develop recipes to share, because I know not everybody likes to just eyeball everything, but I just wing it. All right, now the Greek flavors. So some oregano, which I love. And I wish I had planted fresh oregano, but I didn't. So I'm using dried. It's like about a teaspoon of dried oregano. And now I'll actually take out my recipe. Feta cheese. So I buy this, if you're from Canada, you have this. I don't know if you have this in the States, but it's crumbled feta cheese, herb and garlic. It's just nice and simple. Pop that in there. It says 1/4 cup. Time to buy more. Lemon, some fresh parsley, and for brightness. Okay, so this is Italian parsley. I washed it already, I promise. And I'm gonna rough chop it. And again, I think I've talked about this before. There is that curly parsley that I don't think tastes like anything. I swear it's only meant to be used for garnish. Looks pretty on a platter. Doesn't taste like anything. And this actually does. A bit peppery parsley. Tastes nothing like your dried parsley flakes that come in the jar. That also to me tastes like nothing, but it looks good. Okay, so parsley, 1/2 cup. And then I just need, okay, here's the cherry tomatoes. I don't really like cherry tomatoes, and James doesn't, and I don't think any other kids are going to eat it, so I'm not going to put any in. He's shaking his head, don't do it. So I thought I'd show you. The recipe calls for cherry tomatoes, but I'm not putting them in. Okay? And then I need olive oil, Dijon mustard, and lemon juice. Really basic salad dressing ingredients. Okay. If you were with me last week, you know I didn't know how to use my lemon squeezer. So I went on Google. And apparently, you have to put the cut side down. Apparently makes it much easier. What is that parsley called? It's Italian parsley, Sandra. It's right beside the curly parsley usually. And look at that. It really does work much better this way, and there's no seeds. So this was the big joke last week. I kept using it upside down, and people were super sweet and said, turn your lemon over, Lara. So I did. Okay. Hey, Beth, how are you? Survived your week at camp? So hot. Okay. A little bit of Dijon mustard. I know that's not 1 teaspoon. Okay, so 1 teaspoon. That's finished. And then olive oil. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of olive oil, which is 4 tablespoons. We'll kind of 4 swirls around. And a little bit of balsamic. And we're done. That's it. So like 25 minutes. We've made some dinner for the kids. This looks so good, you guys. James and I might have to eat this for dinner. I do have a rotisserie chicken downstairs in the fridge, so I might have to try this. So you mix that all up. What do you think, hon? Looks okay?
I think it looks fantastic. I think anybody who knows where we live should come over and have some too.
Oh, James is inviting everybody over for dinner now. Easy for him to say. He doesn't cook. All right, salt and pepper.
I'll open the wine.
He doesn't cook, but he'll open the wine. He is a good man. And I popped the lid on. My favorite bowls, right? All gonna stack in my fridge. So that is the Mediterranean chickpea salad. Finished. So the last thing I'm gonna cook tonight is, I'm not gonna wipe it off. The last thing I'm gonna cook tonight is a Mexican corn salad. So it has, again, all fresh from the garden ingredients, except for the corn. It's American corn. There's no Canadian corn until August. So it's got corn, cucumbers, tomatoes, cilantro, some jalapeno. It's really delicious. Here we go. And then I make a cilantro lime dressing that I'm going to blend up and I'm going to pour over it. And then these are my sides for the week. So when I go to do my 5 dinner 1 hour meal prepping, this takes me half an hour, takes me an hour to prep my meals for the week, and then I'm done. I don't have to do anything. Yeah. So this recipe calls for grilled corn, and it was really, really hot outside, and I didn't want to fire up the barbecue. So cool trick, you can take your regular old corn, you can brush it with so this is just olive oil and salt and pepper, and I just brush it. Now, if you don't want to go to all this fuss, you don't have to. I've made this salad with frozen corn. It's fine. There's another one at Loblaws that's frozen corn and jalapeno, which is really perfect. So if you're in a hurry, or if it's not summertime and there's like no corn, or just the corn that tastes terrible, just use that if you really want to have a corn salad. So I did this to all of these ahead of time, you can tell. And I didn't go outside, but I did want the grilled roasted flavor. So I did them on my gas stove. And James is going to show you how I did it, I think. I'm going to get rid of this guy. I don't know if he's actually going to show you. Oh, it is happening now. So all I did was turn my gas stove on pretty low heat, put these corn on the cob directly on the burner. I do my roasted red peppers the same way all year round. Took about 4 minutes. I did 2 at a time. And then they have this nice smoky flavor. Honestly, you guys, it's no different than doing it on your barbecue. All right. So now I have to get the kernels into the bowl. You just cut them off. And I do mine in the bowl because if I do it on the cutting board, it makes a hot mess all over my counter. And this way they just all fall in. And I'm assuming my lovely honey has it on overhead. Bless you, James. He's fired, you guys. So I can't wait to make this. Oh, he's cheering that he's fired. Oh, he's not being nice to me. I can't wait to make this when the Ontario corn comes in. We have a couple of farmers right by our trailer, and they put out those really cute little booths that's like on the honor system. And they go out and they pick the corn in the morning and they put it in their little wooden stand and they leave a bucket. And it tells you how much you're supposed to pay. And it's all honor system, and you just leave your $10 or whatever, $5 for a dozen fresh Ontario corn. And you're good to go. All right. So of course for this one I used a super huge bowl. Not because it's such a big salad, but because I didn't want the kernels to go everywhere. And I think we're done. So roasted corn without going outside. Really kind of cool. I'm going to put it to the side. Cilantro. So lots of discussion about cilantro. We know there's cilantro lovers and cilantro haters. There's also people who don't like the stalk and they pick off all the leaves, and I don't do that. I actually find the stalk actually has a really nice citrusy flavor and I like it, and I don't think it's necessary. So as long as it's washed really well, I don't do that part. So it says, oh, I should pay attention here because I have to put some of this in the blender to make the dressing. Okay, I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna get my cucumber, my jalapeno, and my tomato. And James will still eat it because I'm actually gonna take the seeds out of the tomatoes. And that is the part that he doesn't really like. He finds it too squishy?
Slimy.
He finds it slimy. And we were out for dinner the other night and we had bruschetta full of garlic. It was delicious. And I was like, you're eating just like bread and tomato. And he's like, I know, it's really good. And that's when we determined that really what he doesn't like is the sliminess. Okay, so I'm just going to use half of this English cucumber. So you can tell I meal prep everything. Next, breakfast, because back to school is coming. I know it's a bad word, but comes faster than you can think. And breakfast is the toughest meal to get into my kids. James takes them to school. He wakes them up twice. He drives them, but he doesn't feed them. So often they don't eat breakfast. Or they tell him they do, but they don't. All right, so tomato. If you've never So it's this part that he doesn't enjoy at all. So because I love him, I'm going to it's really funny. This is not a juicy one. But basically, you just stick your fingers in there. And then all you have is actually the nice, firm outer part of the tomato without all the seeds. I know it's not for everybody. It is commonly done when you're making bruschetta. And I'm now going to chop these into small pieces and add them to the salad. Very little juice. I'm gonna see what I can do with this one. And I don't think, these weren't Ontario tomatoes yet either, but they'll be here soon and they'll taste so much better. Anybody growing, Allison, or if you're still on? Well, hello, Mary Brooks. That's my mother-in-law. She's joined us. She doesn't usually watch me cook, but I always enjoy cooking for our family. All right, I was asking Allison, because she lives up north, if she has any veggies in her garden. Okay, so there's the tomatoes, and that's all the veggies. I'm gonna put in half a jalapeno. If you're making this for yourself and you don't like things spicy, all the spices in the seeds. The rest is really just flavor. Reminder to self, do not rub my eyes now because I have jalapeno seeds on them and that'll hurt. Okay. And these I really want to finely chop because nobody wants, truthfully, a really big hunk of jalapeno while they're eating their nice corn salad. James likes things spicy, and I don't mind. And Jacob, my oldest, he also does. So I'll put some. And then I'm really gonna mince them up. And of course, this week I don't care what Jacob likes because he's going to Japan next Tuesday. So he's not going to be eating any of this. Okay, so I have cucumber, roasted corn on the cob, that's now off the cob, tomato and jalapenos. And then I'm going to just whip up a really fast cilantro lime dressing. So this is a vintage. I have all the gadgets, like so many cooking gadgets, but this, you guys, is my grandmother's blender. It has only one speed. It does everything. It crushes ice, it makes smoothies. It's like truly vintage. She got it as a wedding gift. I love it. I'll never replace it. Somebody bought me a blender for Christmas one year. I gave it to my mom. I just didn't want it. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Oh, I should use my squeezer because now I know how. Okay, you guys. Game changer. It's really awesome. All right, so 1 tablespoon of lime juice, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So this is a zesty one, but then I'm going to balance it out with honey, so it's not too tart. 1 teaspoon of honey, so not a lot. Not much. Remember, I don't measure anything. 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. And that I can just rough chop because it's going to get all blended up in here. So it's kind of nice. This week we have some Greek flavors. We have some Mexican flavors. We have our super nice cauliflower dilly, not potato salad. It's like an unpotato salad. Okay, and then I need garlic. So I go back and forth on the garlic. When I'm meal prepping for the week and I'm like in a really big hurry, I confess, I use the stuff in a jar. But when I'm making something where I really want fresh flavors, I would rather use fresh. It tastes different. It's not that the jarred stuff tastes bad, it just tastes different. Okay, let me double check. Now I need olive oil. Okay, 1/4 of a cup, so 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And salt and pepper, and that's it. So 40 minutes. So basically for me, if I spend 2 hours total in the kitchen, I can have almost all of my meal prep done for the entire week. And for me, that's a win. Gives us so much more time after dinner to do whatever we like. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take this, and I wasn't gonna do it because it was gonna be loud, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just to prove. Hundred-year-old blender. No kidding. And oh, it tastes so good. Now I can't decide what we're gonna eat tonight when we're finished. Might be this one. And then you drizzle this over. And so this is cilantro, lime, roasted corn salad. You can serve this with roasted chicken. You can serve it with something Tex-Mex if you want. You could just eat it straight out of the bowl. I'm putting all the dressing in. And that's it, you guys. Have I found the peeled garlic in a bag? I have actually, Melissa. They do. They have it at Loblaws. And they have it in a lot of the little Asian grocery stores. And I've used it. It's really good. Totally easy. And that's it. So that was 3 summer sides, 1 bunch of Cubanos for the hungry teenage boys. I'm Lara. This is, for me, this is Love on a Plate. If you are a 5 dinner 1 hour watcher, I think Libby is going to be going live in about 18 minutes, so you have time to grab a snack and hop on over to watch her. Thanks so much for coming back into my kitchen. I really had fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.